Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 8 of calisthenics endurance. This morning the run has been completed, 2-minute running intervals combined with 1 minute of walking, and that's basically 1 less minute of walking compared to the day before, so very happy with that. Heading in the right direction again, heading towards Shimanami cycling road, the 70-kilometer cycling road that I'm trying to run in Japan in March. But you know, that's the running endurance. Now it's time for some push-up endurance. And well, today we will be doing the Japanese push-ups. So for these push-ups, I actually realized something that I've been doing wrong in the last couple sessions. And basically, I've been trying to run when I can't even walk properly. That is to say, I've been trying to take too big of a step in my session. So I completed 10 sets of 50 reps, I think like about a month ago right now. And then straight after, I just started, aiming for sets of 100. But of course, that's way more difficult, and I was only able to do 1 set of 100 before actually, going to complete failure on the second one. And, that's not a bad thing per se, but when it comes to endurance, the reps don't lie. So you build endurance by doing total volume, right? And once you have the total volume, that's when you can peak into doing one very big set. So for me, I think I need to take some smaller steps, and instead of perhaps aiming for 100 reps all the time, I should, make it my basis to aim for shorter sets, right? So I completed 10 sets of 50, that's nice, but in between 50 and 100, you still have 60, 70, 80, 90, and well, not to mention 51, 52, 53, right? So even by doing sets of 60 today, I'm actually still taking quite a big step, because progress is something you have to look at in the long term, right? Let's say that I progress every month with, a workout of 10 sets, and I progress every month with 10 reps, right? So this month it would be 60, then 70, then 80. If you just continue that line of progress for an entire year, in a year I would almost be doing sets of 200, right? Which is, I don't know if there's anyone who can do that. Perhaps the Japanese push-up guy at this point, but that's an insane level. So when you look at your progress and you think you're progressing slow, draw the line, how, if you continue the slow progress that you're on right now, if you continue it for a year, how far are you getting? And oftentimes you will realize that actually your progress is very fast. So today, 10 sets of 60 is the goal. I hope to get at least 5 sets because, well, it's my first challenge, and I'm also still a bit tired from the last session, but I guess that's just an excuse. But yeah, ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'm gonna get down to the first set, put on some good music, and it's basically everything I have planned for the day, other than some exercises, rehab exercises, which I've done already. So today might be a short one, but it's gonna be sweet nonetheless. Alright, 1 set every 3 minutes. Alright, the first set was okay, but the second one is burning like crazy. At least 3 more sets, come on. Okay, 5 sets. Let's see if we can hit failure on the next one. Well, let's try not to hit failure so that we can go for set number 7 too, but you get what I'm saying. "41. Come on. 7 sets would be crazy." "50. "45? What the fuck is going on?" Holy shit. Okay, so before I say or do anything, this pump has to be checked because this might be the sickest feeling in my chest I've ever gotten. Like, holy shit. Yeah, like if I do this, it's already cramping. It's insane how destroyed my chest feels at the moment. And usually my chest burns and then I burn out, but today I was just able to push through it. And so the amount of exhaustion that's just in my chesticles right now, in my pecs, it's insane. So needless to say, very happy with how today's training went. And you know what? I failed on set number 9, and I think I mostly failed mentally because I wasn't even expecting to get to set number 9. The goal is 10, of course, but the minimum was 5. And on set number 2, I was already struggling. On set number 5 or something, I was already taking breaks in between, doing the standing rest. But somehow I was just able to push through, and I was just surprised myself. Like during the set, I couldn't believe it. Like the fact that I was still able to go. So very happy with how this went. I guess, my body is transforming into an endurance machine, After months of push-ups, finally my body is starting to adapt. But when it comes to today's limit, I think it was more so mental than physical, because it's very difficult to push through your physical limit if mentally you're like expecting of yourself to fail. I expected myself to fail on set number 6 or 7 today. And that's why on set number 9, I couldn't even believe that I was starting it, And I think that's a big reason of why I'm failing. But that also brings me back to the topic in the beginning, right? When you're training and you take these big steps, oftentimes you have doubt in your mind, If I go from 10 sets of 50 to sets of 100, I expect myself to fail on set number 2. So mentally, right, you're stuck on that set number 2, you expect to fail there, and so your body is gonna give in. It's like mentally you're gonna give in. But if you take smaller steps to the point that you're even doubting the point of taking the step, right? Let's say today I did 51, right? There would be no 51 reps per set. There would be no single question in my head that I would be able to do it. So mentally I don't expect myself to fail, which, even though things might get tough, will allow me to push myself further. And so the smaller you take your steps, it also helps you to push mentally, right? If you're, someone like me, sometimes afraid of big challenges, right? You don't always have to go for the big wins. It's like the small, easy wins, right? If you just keep winning them, right? If you keep doing those small challenges over and over and over again, day in, day out, consistently, eventually those are going to turn into the big wins, right? Whether I challenge myself 100 times for the big win of 10 sets of 100 and fail and then succeed on attempt number 100, or I go there by every day having a small win and trying to do 1 or 2 reps more, eventually you're on the same path. But, I think it's not one or the other, right? It's just, it's 2 ways of getting to the same goal, right? And sometimes, you might want to prefer one way over the other. Sometimes I just go for broke, right? Sometimes I just go for the big step, the one I'm not prepared for. But sometimes it's also necessary to, when you realize that you keep failing, to maybe take a step back and see if you have other options, right? And the smaller steps, it's not because the steps are smaller that it's a worse way to train, right? Because as long as you're getting stronger, as long as you're training harder than last time, that's a big win. And it can be in the form of more reps, but also, even if you don't get more reps, you can go for the same amount of reps and work on the form or do a slower negative, so on and so forth. You can make your training harder, right? And by doing it in small steps, it makes it easier to stay consistent, I would say. But, I feel like attempting the big steps lately with 100 push-ups over and over and over again, it made my body tired quickly all the time. While when it comes to endurance, the total volume is important too. So don't skip the basics. Don't be don't show a disliking to the small wins, I would say. But that's enough yapping. Holy shit! Very happy with how today's training went. Tomorrow I will be sore as hell. No mistake about it. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for a leg day.